It's showtime. Coming up today, the surprising realities of men's happiness in marriage. Yes, gentlemen, we're talking marriage. Marty, we're talking marriage, even when I'm swallowing my words. Coming up this morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. And we got some guests. Matt Cundill and Adam Hase are joining us this morning. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where excuse
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle appeals, blood flow.
Nobody is expecting Jon.
If your lady's saying that, you're doing
Being a super
the entertained by funds over here.
How if I slept? Has my sleep been good? Is that
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. We're back at it. The loop has begun. You got Uncle Keith Bilous here hosting the show. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. You got CMartyFit over there waiting to enter the green room. You got Jon Andersen feeling a little under the weather, but he is bringing it today. We know we're all about showing up. Producer Jimmy's on the buttons. We got Tommy in the community and flipping scripts to make sure the show is entertaining and informing. We are talking the surprising reality of marriage today on the show. Men's happiness in marriage. We're going to dig into that in hour two. Hour one, we got a bunch of topics coming up. We got Matt Cundill coming in this morning. He's a fellow from the podcast industry. We got Matt joining us this morning. We got Adam Hase coming in to talk about some Jeff Bezos leadership discussions. Coming in to talk about mind fuel. We're going to lean into the psychology of men and men's happiness and so forth. Good morning, Mike Smart. Good to see you in the comments, and good morning, Enzo, as well. Good to see you there in the comments as well this morning, guys. Hey, listen, this is the only morning show to help you guys get up and achieve those big ass goals. I welcome you. I invite you. I implore you to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends about the greatest morning show on the planet for men. You know, men's conversations started years ago in the world of Playboy and GQ and Sports Illustrated, moving the path down to the worlds of Joe Rogan and so forth in the recorded universe. Well, we woke up and we got after with a live conversation for men. We bring the past to the future. We dig into conversations that are important to you, important to me. Listen, if it matters to men, it matters to us. Hosted by myself, Keith Bilous, and my friend CMartyFit. Jimmy, let's bring in Marty. Let's bring in Johnny here as well. I know Johnny's feeling a little slow here, but that's all right. I know he's bringing it. What's going on, boys? Marty's in the green. Marty's in the black. Billis is in the gray with the black hat. The old meta glasses on here this morning again. I got the old... I'm going to stop it. Boom, boom. What's going on, Christopher Martin?
What's up, man? What's going on with you?
How are you today?
I'm amazing. How are you today?
Oh, I'm awesome, brother. I'm awesome. I know Johnny's feeling a little bit Johnny's on 8 out of 10 today, so we're gonna be good teammates, Marty, and keep carrying the momentum with our brother here. But there you have it. Johnny?
what's happening.
How are you, man? I sent you a text this morning to see how you're doing. Good morning, Do Streaming. What's going on here? I invite you to subscribe to the channel. The only morning show on the planet here. I did for men. I'd invite you to check into the channel here this morning. Matt, I see you there in the horizontal feed. Matt, we'll get you into the vertical feed as well here. Johnny, how you feeling, brother? On a scale of 1 to 10. Yesterday you were kind of crappy. Today how you feeling?
You know, I'm definitely I'm here. It's not my best day, but it's another day I'm showing up. Definitely, unfortunately, this thing just keeps setting in, but it's you know, my rule of thumb is simple. If I'm not puking, I'm not stopping.
There we go.
That's it. If I'm not puking, I'm not stopping is the advice from Jon Andersen today. Johnny, when you're sick, do you do you decide to lay down on the couch, or do you keep moving, or what's the sick method for Jon Andersen?
You know, I don't know. I don't really put that much into it. I just go.
You just go, eh? You just go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sometimes like yesterday, I tried to stretch my nap out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm actually, I'm not as bad. I actually did well yesterday because I could have been worse today. I felt like yesterday and towards the evening, I was like, shit, I might actually pull out of this thing. But then when I was sleeping, I could tell my body wasn't resting well.
Yes.
I have a lot of messed up dreams, like just dreams that don't make sense. A lot of coughing, and then when you're coughing, you're not sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I know. I had a great sleep, man. I was in bed early last night. I was up in the middle of the night, got some water, had a couple grapes, boys. I needed some liquid, and I was like,
middle of the night.
Yeah,
Middle of the night.
Yeah, Marty, because I feel like I was needing hydration, and I was like, so I grabbed some water, and there was a couple grapes in front of me. Like, you know what? So I drank like blank water, no flavor in it, but the grapes just add a little bit of taste in the middle of the night for me. Like 3:05.
Why you ain't get a candy bar?
Marty, I'm making better decisions, brother. Come on,
I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you, man.
Listen, I still got this. I still got the prop on my desk, and it is unopened. It's unopened.
Whoa! Turn that around. Where's the pen marks?
Look, there's the pen marks.
Johnny, do you see pen marks, Johnny?
There's the pen marks right there. Look, hold on.
Johnny, I don't see anything, Johnny.
There you
I
go.
don't see anything in there either.
You fuckers. There's.
He just tried to. Hey, he tried to do it real quick before the show started. Let me put this on here so CMarty can shut up.
Just a reminder to make good choices along the way. Speaking of good choices, boys, I found a funny article this morning that I think you guys are gonna have some fun with. I think our audience is gonna have some fun with. But listen, men, we like to drop the gas. Marty, fart gas can help people live longer and healthier lives. Did you know that?
This is gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, where are we going, man?
Hey, Marty, I had a choice this morning. I had one study that suggested that men's penises are getting longer than ever.
You did that already.
No, this is a new one. This is a new study that the scientists are digging further.
Johnny, he did that already.
So the scientists are digging into.
He's just going to talk about it again.
I think it was a 25%, wasn't it, Mart? Everybody liked that. And then we realized that creatures are getting 25% bigger, human creatures. So that's where the whole thing came from, which would be sad if they're bigger. If the creature's bigger and the shaft doesn't change, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, they're finding that they're growing longer, and the average span of a penis is just getting longer. So I know we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Right now, guys, boy, fart gas will allow men to live longer. So boys, let them rip and just breathe it in, Marty. Just let it rip and breathe it in. Make sure you know your environment. Just let it rip. Because here's the thing: this study is not about extending life; it's about living healthier lives. Scientists at the University of Exeter, Johnny.
Hey, hold on, real quick. Yeah. I saw a video yesterday where everybody was on the plane with their shirt over their nose, and they had to make an announcement. This stewardess had to make an announcement. She's like, "Whoever's farting, can you please stop farting?"
Are you serious?
Oh, mercy!
I'm gonna send it to you if I can find it again.
You know what? I gotta confess. Sometimes it's just funny sitting on a plane and just quietly lifting the left cheek. And
that's not funny, man.
It's fucking funny, man. Come on. What man has it sit on a bus or on a plane or in a classroom or in a locker room?
The elevator takes the cake.
The elevator, and you're just silently letting it squeeze out, Marty. Come on, Marty.
Y'all really do that? Y'all really do that? Y'all are too old, man. Y'all gotta grow up. I thought I was the young guy on the show. Y'all old as hell doing that shit.
Johnny's like in the elevator.
It's just terrible, man.
It's a confined space.
Well, I just feel like if I do that, people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, he did it right there." So I'm always nervous to do it.
Well, you got to not be worried about that part of the equation, or don't do it.
That's right.
Well, depending where you go, you don't want to develop the reputation as the stinky dude, though. At least I don't. Y'all could walk around like that.
I guess it just depends on how much you're worried about what people are thinking about you. You know what I mean?
I care about that. I don't.
No. Scientists at the University of Exeter, boys, found and uncovered a surprising potential ally in the quest to enhance human health and extend longevity through hydrogen sulfide gas. Yeah, in other words, ass gas. The research study sponsored by the U.S. Army, yes, boys, Richie Ingram, the U.S. Army, and the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation discovered that directing tiny quantities of H2S, in other words, ass gas, to particular cell regions in adult worms through ass gas molecules notably enhanced their health and vitality as they grew older. So the bottom line is, boys, they fed the ass gas to these mitochondria, and the mitochondria lived and proceeded in a healthier state of vitality. So what the study is suggesting is that ass gas might help us live longer. Worms, as they talk about, are a powerful genetic tool to study human health and disease and offering a strong platform to quickly identify new potential therapeutics. The results indicate, boys, that ass gas administered to specific parts of the cell in tiny quantities could one day be used to help people live healthier for longer. So the next time you're in the elevator, or next time you're on the airplane, or next time you're in a classroom with the locker room, boys, just let the ass gas fly. Everybody's gonna live longer.
So is it a two-way street? We're saying the poor bastard sucking this shit down may have a potential to live longer.
Yes.
Does it help the dude that's letting it go? Because that's always been my argument. You know, look, I'm taking care of myself. I'm not holding this shit in. I'm letting it out.
Well, that's the kind of conversations we have here in the lab, boys. We're offering nuggets, Johnny. So if it's going to make you feel better because it lets it out, you know, you're going to live a little bit longer because you're going to breathe it in. And then so are all the dudes in the area around you. So you guys are all going to live longer. And then Johnny, we know life expectancy work is a big part of our mantra here in the lab. Just think you can drop some ass gas, go have some love with your wife, and everybody's going to live a longer, healthy life. Like, it's not even complicated, boys. There's nothing complex about life. Just have lots of sex.
But I would definitely make the suggestion of keeping those two activities separate. If you want to get outside the 5 minutes, the 5 minute statistic of how long people are hitting it, and I think it was America, wasn't it?
Yes,
some people might be into that though.
Hey, speaking of into it, boys.
Some people could be, but I got to say, I'm definitely not one of those motherfuckers.
Me neither.
So, boys, get this, man. Get this. Bonnie Blue. Yeah, 1,100 guys she slept with over one weekend. So she was monetizing her content on OnlyFans. She was making $600,000 a month from that one video. Yeah. Hey, Dad, I'm making $600,000 a month laying on my back, screwing 1,100 guys on a weekend. Dad's like, what? Anyways, OnlyFans have banned that video. So they're like, no, you can't make, because they couldn't determine if the guys were old enough, if the guys were legal or whatever. So they're
okay, that's interesting.
So they're like, no, we can't. We're not going to let you do that. So now Lily Phelps, the other girl who's trying to outbang Bonnie Blue. Boys, listen, I got to find content for discussion here. So forgive me for going down the path of Brazzers and Pornhub and the world of all this crazy shit. But yeah, OnlyFans like, nope, you can't. You can sleep with 1,100 guys, but you can't monetize it.
Good.
You know, that's just how it is.
Well, there's the question. I think if it's not monetizable, I don't think these activities happen nearly as much. Or if
I agree with you. Yes, but so it really does. But $600,000 a month, guys. $600,000 a month. So she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go sleep with 1,100 guys on one weekend, and I'm gonna go make myself $500,000 a month. Essentially, less than. Good morning, Scott Benzie. I see you though. Love today's topics. Can't stay long. Benzie, if you can't stay long, what the hell did you come for to start with? I'll joking aside. I'm glad to have you here this morning. Good to see you, Jewel, as well. Hey, listen, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, The Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of bed. Content for men. If it matters to men, it matters to me. It matters to Marty, matters to John, matters to all three of us. Yes, it does. Marty, what happened in the gym yesterday, brother?
Yesterday, man, honestly, nothing, man. It's been chill. I told you it's an old people gym. So old people just, asking questions, repeating themselves. And, one guy was like, he said, you're not going to see me for 10 days. I'm going out of town.
Oh, yeah.
I said, okay. I said, well, listen, enjoy yourself. We'll be here when you get back. And he said, yeah, don't be asking where my fat ass was when I get back. I was like, that's not what I was going to say, but that was probably the highlight of my day yesterday.
Oh, man. I got to tell you guys something before we go to the accountability check-in, and we'll bring Matt Cundill in here in 2 minutes or so. I was scrolling the old gram yesterday, and I got to laugh, man. And I'm going to have some fun with you two guys for the most part because you guys are in this industry. Dude, I could scroll through 8 different men, and 8 different men will tell me what they eat, and they all eat something different, and they all jacked. And that's that's what I love about what you sell, Johnny, and what you sell, Marty, because there's no rocket science. It's habits. It's discipline. It's finding something that works for you and then sticking to it. But it's funny, man. I got one guy eating fucking oats and carbs and all this crap. You got some guy eating, no, I'm just eating meat. You got some guy eating vegetarian. But you got 8 different guys all telling you 8 different things. I find it humorous.
Well, and it's the truth because there's going to be different formulas, 8 different formulas for 8 different guys, and that's the thing.
Yes.
So the guy that says, "Oh yeah, I know everybody's different," but he'll be the first one to do exactly what his neighbor did because his neighbor lost 10 pounds. Well, Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, you know what, Johnny, what I like about it too, because I was the guy, what I'm going to say next is we find the guy that we want to associate ourselves with who is the lowest barrier to entry. Okay, well, that guy's jacked. He still eats peanut butter cups and he eats chocolate bars and he eats broccoli. So I want to be like him. And it's funny because that's what we do as humans. We lower ourselves to, and Johnny, you said it yourself, it's like we find somebody to go get close to and then we line ourselves up and then it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? And I find it humorous because I've seen it time and time again. We don't want to go to the hard shit. We want to go to the easy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's how it works. All right, let's keep it rolling here, Jimmy. Let's bring the accountability check-in coming up here. We've got Matt Cundill coming up here in less than a minute. All right. This is the time where I give you guys something to consider. It's all about accountability. I got to tell you guys, we drop this accountability check-in on LinkedIn every single day for the last year or so. It is a highly engaged topic. We're all about conversations here in the lab, and this one here gets people thinking. Most people they treat self-doubt like it's a bad thing. But is self-doubt bad? Is it really bad? Listen, no one loves that gnawing voice in their head. You're not ready. You're going to fail. You're not good enough. Yeah, I know. It's brutal. It's hard. It absolutely motherfucking sucks. It absolutely sucks. I get it. But you know what's worse? Blind confidence. Yeah, thinking you got it all figured out. Oh yeah, I know the path. I've got it all. I got it all. I don't need no help. Nope, got it all figured out. Why? Because it leads to one place. In my experience, it leads to mediocrity. Listen, boys, you don't want to be mediocre. Nope, no mediocrity going on here. I've learned to run towards discomfort in what I hate. Hey, every Monday and Friday, you guys know what I do? I run. I fucking hate running, but I run. Why? Because I hate it. And it removes me from mediocrity. Not because it's fun. No, baby. It's because I know that's how I grow. Comfort and growth? They don't go together. No way. You want to find out what you're on? Team comfort or team growth or team mediocre? Ask yourself, boys, this one question today as you're rolling over and you're not hitting the snooze button. Listen, you hit the snooze button, you're 9 minutes behind. You do it all year, you're 55 hours behind that guy over there. Listen, ask yourself this. Do I willingly step into discomfort today? Mike Smart, you walking into discomfort today? Scott Benzie, you walking into discomfort today? Or you prioritize ease or challenging in your decisions? It's like, it's easy, I'll make this decision. It's easy, I'll make that decision. Listen, if I don't take chances, can I live with it without regret? I live a life without regrets. Why I get up every single day chasing what we're after. And here's what I'm going to ask you guys this. Am I more driven by avoiding failure or reaching my potential? Listen, no judgment, just reflection. And hey, I'm just one guy with an opinion. What's yours? Can comfort and growth go together? Or do they one and the same? Let us know in the comments, guys. Let's get after it. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. All right, Jimmy. Let's bring in the crew. Let's bring in Matt Cundill, joining us from Winnipeg, Canada. What's going on, Mr. Matt? I was excited to have you here today, brother.
Well, thanks for having me. I'll be fully honest. I just came back from Kansas City.
I know.
Oh, boy.
I saw your video outside. I saw you, I think maybe your wife or your partner, or I saw a video. You were like, yeah, I'm heading into the stadium. And I thought to myself, is Cundill going to make it to the show on Tuesday? And brother, I am extremely glad you're here. Thank you for being here. How was your journey, man?
It's long. It's 13 hours from Winnipeg down to Kansas City.
Yeah.
There's sideways snow and blizzards, and it was. I mean, at one point in the highway, we were just absolutely stopped. But you got to go. We stopped at the Tim Hortons in Morris, Manitoba, rode out the storm, and then made it the rest of the way, and wound up at Arthur Bryant's delicious Kansas City barbecue. I'll tell you something about Kansas City. Listen, my team's the Buffalo Bills, but Kansas City, they know how to cook a piece of meat. It is incredible what they can do. And I will say something about Chiefs fans. They are the nicest people out there. Yeah. Incredible.
So Marty, we got a football fan here, obviously. So Matty, you drove down to see your Bills lose to the Chiefs. How was the 13-hour ride back?
Long and sad, especially when it's being driven by two Chiefs fans. So we had two Bills fans in the back, two Chiefs fans in the front. And I knew somebody was going to be unhappy on that ride home. And it turns out it was me. But I'm living the Bills lifestyle. It's Bills Mafia. We get that far away, and then right at the end.
Yeah. So, boys, Matt Cundill joins us from Winnipeg. He's I got a lot of respect and props for Matt. I've followed Matt's career in Winnipeg for a long time. He's a former radio guy. Now he's a podcast guy, voiceover guy. He's one of the greats. There's no question he's one of the greats here in Winnipeg, one of the greats in Canada. Matt, stop laughing. I was excited to have him here. He was on my show last time, and I was like, Matt, you got to come hang out, and I was really excited to have him here today. Matt, we have a question we'd like to ask every single guest. What's your morning routine, brother?
I have 2 morning routines. Actually, I've got a summer one and I've got a winter one. So the summer one, we're getting up early. And by summer, I mean, it's summer and winter divides where we have when we flip the clocks back and forward.
Yes.
So the minute we put the clocks forward, we're going to be getting up early. We're going to be getting up at 5:30. We're going to be coming up punching and swinging. But by the time we settle into around like early November, we put the clocks back. We're going to let ourselves sleep into about 7:30. We might work a little bit later at night because there's more darkness. We're going to work a little bit later into the night, but we will sleep in and we will wait till the sunrise. All of it is for mental health purposes, right? So, because if I wake up in the dark and I go to bed in the dark, I don't have as much energy. But if I can wake up a little bit later, see some sunlight, work a little bit in the evening, and stay creative. So we've got a winter schedule and we've got a summer schedule. But minute summertime rolls around, we are up at 5:30 with the birds.
There you go. Matt Cundill's morning routine. He's getting after it one and 2 ways after it. Marty, Johnny, any observations on Mr. Cundill's routine this morning?
Well, I think I initially when it was going into it, I thought it was a little bit of a joke, but clearly there's some thought put into this.
Oh
Yeah.
I say this. I like at least 2 days a week. I like to wake up to sunlight. That's usually Saturday and Sunday. But during the week, I kind of like waking up in the dark because now it just makes me feel like I'm about to kick ass because everyone else ain't up.
Oh, I love it.
When I wake up in the sunlight, I feel like I've already missed a step.
Yeah.
I've been waking up in the dark. I've been waking up in the dark as long as I can remember.
Go ahead, Marty.
I was just gonna say I would wake up in the dark every day, but it's hard for me to go to bed accordingly to do that every night.
Oh yeah,
I get energy at night.
It is. There's no question. I mean, if you think about having a set bedtime for your whole life through different seasons of your life, it's fucking challenging.
Yes. Yeah. So Matt, you come from morning radio though, did you not? Like years back, you did morning radio, did you not? And was that part of your career, or did you get into the regular part of the day on radio, Matt?
No, actually, I wound up going into management because I couldn't do morning radio. I did 3 days of morning radio. And I said, that's enough. It was Edmonton. I was getting up at 3:34 in the morning. It was minus 30 outside. And I go, and you're asked to be your most creative and do your best work, and ready for 5:36. And eventually I just go, this is not for me. I'll do afternoons. I will manage this place. There was something about, like winding up your content and getting it ready for a 2:00, like that, that big wrestling entrance that you do at 2:00 and kabam. I didn't have that at 6 a.m. And I don't think there was enough money to get me up at that hour. Listen, a lot of this stuff is set up for mental health.
Yes.
Right. I get up just before the sunlight in the wintertime. I get up with the sun in the summertime. And a lot of it is really just all about mental health and staying fit. And I know, Marty, you were just talking about Saturday. Well, let me tell you about my Saturday. Saturday, I get up in the dark, right? And I get up at about 6. And then I'm on the yoga mat at 8 o'clock. We're doing 2 hours of advanced yoga.
Nice.
At 10 o'clock, we're out shopping and getting food. By we cook some food. And then at 3:30, we have, and I've had this every Saturday from 3:30 to 5:30 for the last 30 years, and that's a nap. A big Saturday creative reset power nap. Because if you look around outside, a Saturday's between 3 and 5:30, you know what's going on out there? Nothing but a lot of chaos and shopping and people trying to do stuff. And I go the other way. I'm going to go for a nap.
Is that your habit? That is an exceptional routine. Marty, I haven't said that word in a long time, you notice. You notice I've taken exception out of the books.
I don't know about that one. We'll have to look back at
I've
that.
used it minimally. I've listened back to some of my recordings. I'm like, I've been saying exceptional too much. But Matt, what a wonderful routine. You're like Saturday afternoons. I might have to steal that one. You don't have any young kids around, Matt Cundill.
No, not anymore. Actually, just became an empty nester. By the way, just got married 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
and listen, of course, the honeymoon in Kansas City. I mean, come on, right?
Well, the empty nest thing, isn't it kind of crazy? Because you raise your kids, feel like you're supervising them for all those years, and then they're gone, and you realize, holy shit, they were actually supervising us.
Yeah. But John, it's about your job as a parent is to parent yourself out of a job. And,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, you literally, because you're going to put in your work. You're going to put into work until they're 18, they leave, and for the most part, your work's done. Or you're not going to put in your work before they're 18, and you're going to have 45 years of extended. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening again. Yeah. Because you didn't put your work in up front. And they're not self-sufficient. They can't take care of themselves. So yeah. That's a great way to put it. You parent yourself right out of a job. That's great.
Yeah, if you haven't done it, then you haven't done your job, right?
Yes.
And I know Marty might look at me sideways on the nap, but I will say it's a creative thing. So it's one thing I did notice.
I take naps every day, just so you know.
I take naps too.
Yeah.
But I'm not
one more thing about sleep.
Nap guy.
Yeah. So and you can do the 10-minute power nap, the 15-minute nap. They're all great naps.
Nap.
Yeah. I will say one thing about sleep. And that, our routine of this 8-hour sleep that we struggle with is real. We want 8 hours, we want 7 hours, something like that. It's new. That's something that's only happened to us in the last 150 to 200 years. Yes. Before that, we used to go to bed when the sun went down. We would get up in the middle of the night. People would wander around the street with lanterns and stuff like that. Maybe they're having sex in the middle of the night. Maybe they're doing some chores, stuff like. And then you get up again with the sun. We used to have 2 sleeps. This is new. What we're doing this 7-8 hour creation. And it's a creation of for labor purposes.
Yes. Yeah. 150 years ago, we called it the Gulf of Mexico and Mount Denali. Now we're calling it Mount McKinley, and we're calling it Gulf America because one person decided that's what we're going to call it. So, hey, it's like 8 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep. But Matt, I got to tell you, man, we're big fans of naps here on the show because I find that we as humans, we get so convinced we got to shut everything off to go to a meeting with our lawyer because lawyers are all expensive, but yet we can't go look in the mirror and take a half an hour nap in the middle of the day to recharge our batteries. So I'm a huge fan of your nap routine. I might have to steal that for Saturdays. I love that Saturday because you're right. Nothing productive happens between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Zero. Nothing goes on at that time.
Well, nothing in society for sure.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been times I had a couch in the office. I'd let talent come and just you take the couch. I'll go work in the boardroom, something like that. I've actually in this office here, I've laid down and just I had a half hour just lying on a cold floor. When it gets overwhelming. And by the way, I do have overwhelming moments. You guys were talking about taking 10-15 minute naps in the day. It's about between 2 and 3:30 for me. I'm just calm down a little bit.
I'm not too dissimilar. So Matt, before we got you in for a short segment here this morning, I'm really, really grateful that you're able to join us here today. I love the energy you're bringing. Matt, I want to take a couple minutes to dig into your industry, the industry you came from, and how you're looking at the future. I really enjoyed your conversation with Danny Stover. I reached out to her. We had a little conversation on LinkedIn as well. I said, hey, come hang out with me. I'm trying to create some morning show for men. And she's like, wow, it's really ambitious. We had a great chat. But Matt, when you look to the future, you look to the past, what are you seeing, my friend, with the media industry, radio, podcast? I really would love to hear a POV, brother.
Yeah. So one of the things I sort of point to see exactly where we're at. So we sort of had this, podcasting's on-demand radio. Yeah. Radio is radio, but the two really don't meet. Podcasting has more in common with publishing, I think, if you're really going to get in there and you're going to promote your brand. I would say, though, when it comes to media, and I do feel for people in TV and radio, because it's always, one of the things they've had trouble with is running content twice. So you do a funny bit in the morning show. Where else do you do? Well, now you can put it on social media. Now you can put it out in a podcast form. You can put it out just about anywhere. However, watch what's happening with Donald Trump. And so, back in 2016, he got elected. He was calling Fox and Friends every morning to sort of set the day. Yeah. But now he's sort of teamed up with the tech people. He's got them around, and they're using the social media and the tech to get messages out in order to set their agenda for the day. So I think this is something, and by the way, this is something presidents have been doing for many, many years, going all the way back to FDR and the fireside chats. But here we are today. So if you want to look at exactly where the state of media is, we're really it's doing what we're doing now. Yes. And radio and TV, I think, really need to, find and redefine their role in how they're going to be distributing their end of the content. It's going to be a little bit more than live. And I think, one of the things that is the real thing that we've lost in all the media change, for better or worse, is shared experiences. So I just finished. I got a note from somebody, one of my Buffalo fans. She's the Buffalo food slut, by the way. She's a great follow on Instagram. But she wrote me in the end, and she goes, really, what this Bills Mafia thing and what the football thing is all about is shared experiences. We used to go to concerts, and now sort of we don't all have the same groups anymore.
Yeah.
We're really down to sort of sporting events and other moments to come together. So shared experiences are really what's going to push your brand, which is why we should all be building communities like you're doing here, Keith. This is, no matter what you do, you should be thinking about building communities, not necessarily building audiences. Build your community.
Well, I got to tell you, Matt Cundill, you were on my show, and I asked you a question on the last show, Live in the Lab, and I said, Matt, does the morning show work in the future? And you looked at me and you said, of course it does. And I got off that show, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, because you just repeated what I believe in my head. Mornings are the last macro cultural moment we share, like in North America, parts of the world, because we all get up between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. And then once that 10 a.m. clock happens, time becomes irrelevant to all of us, because it's all on-demand content until we get together in the evening for a live sporting event. So I'm already seeing it here, Matt, with your encouragement. We started this morning show, and we finally found our space for men, and we're building a wonderful community of men that show up every single morning. And you know what, Matt? Now we have this Conversation OS, this platform that powers the show. And like you said yourself, Matt, any leader, business leader, brand leader can own the narrative for the day, stakeholders, customers, anybody, by having a morning conversation. And then you set the narrative for the day and you start it again. And there's nothing complex about it. So I really love what you said, because it's supporting what we're trying to do here on the show. It all starts in the morning, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I remember when I started my podcast, like putting your social media out first thing in the morning, get it out there, because people wake up, they look at their phone, and they'll start to think about what they need to do in that moment. Right.
Yes.
And if they find value with their show and they can't listen in the morning, maybe it will be after they go to the gym. Maybe it will be a little bit later in the day. I listen to a lot of catch-up radio. Listen, Colin Cowherd's live every day at 11 a.m. Central, but I'm listening to it later at night. That's okay. So make it available. I love the fact that your show is consistent, and the discipline that goes into being on time and keeping a clock and always being there. That is worth 20. It's still worth 20% of the marks, is being consistent with your show and where people can find you. Make sure that people can find you everywhere, and make sure you're consistent with being there.
Oh, yeah. That's what. So, Matt, our plan, I'll tell you right now, here's our business plan, brother. We go 2 hours live in the morning, and then we chop the content up, and it's distributed ubiquitously across all the social platforms all day. And we have a community team managing those conversations all day. And then we do it again in the morning. So it's basically a 24-hour live conversation. We've stopped making content, and we started having conversations. That's our mantra.
Yeah. And so the easiest analogy I can do, just by looking on the screen, I'm just going to go to Marty here for a second. Yeah. Marty, if you're training me, and I show up Tuesday and Friday one week, and the next week I'm going to show up Monday, Wednesday, and I'm not going to come in a few days. Then I'm going to take a week off and come back again. How much success am I going to have with my fitness routine?
That much.
Exactly.
All right, boys, we got Matt Cundill joining us from Winnipeg here. He's the GOAT. Marty, I got to give him this button, man. I got to give it to him, man. I know. I'm Johnny.
You can get the button, man.
I know. So,
Matt, I'll apologize in advance for that castrated goat sound that they're giving you.
Matt, it's better than nothing, Matt.
Yeah. Matt, you'll come back and hang out again with us sometime?
Always.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Matt Cundill joining us from Winnipeg, Matt. Listen, Matt, where can folks find you? Sound Off Solutions, how can they get a hold of you? How can they connect with you, brother?
Soundoff.network.
All right, soundoff.network. Matt Cundill, you guys need a voiceover expert. You guys need an expert from radio, an expert from just the industry. You got to connect with Matt. Don't connect with me. No, I'm just a newbie. I'm learning everything I can from Matt Cundill, so go connect with Matt. Matt, love you, brother. Come back again, okay?
Thanks. It's a great show.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
See you guys.
I appreciate it. All right, Matt's going to get out of here, and Marty is going to get after. Oh, what sound effect is that one?
Come on, man. Get my sound right.
There it is, Marty, the sound effect.
On,
and we got Adam.
Keep tighten up, man.
Boys, I left Adam in the green room for a couple weeks. He's been permeating. He's coming up here in a minute. Marty, get after it, brother.
Let's get it, man. All right. This is so simple. It's not even a fit tip. It's not even a fit tip for real. But listen, understand that you're not making time for your fitness. You're making every excuse. You're neglecting it. But you got time for all the other bullshit. What's the other bullshit? Fellas, I know some ladies watching too, but fellas, you watched the playoffs for the past 2-3 weeks. You watched every game, every quarter, and celebrated with your buddies and had a fit if your team lost. These football games, just the playing time itself is an hour, right? You got 4 15-minute quarters, not to mention timeouts, commercial breaks, ads, players getting hurt. So you're sitting there for what, 2 or 3 hours? You got time for that, but you don't have time to take care of the one machine that you have, the one body that you have. We got to get our priorities straight. So if you got time to enjoy the NFL, which is fine, enjoy the NFL, right? Before you know it, NBA playoffs are going to be here. March Madness is going to be here. All the events. NHL playoffs are going to be here. MLB playoffs are going to be here in 2025. Everything. So before you watch these events and enjoy yourself, which you should, make time for yourself. Make time for your fitness. And the last thing on this, you watching these athletes who compete at a high level, who put the work in, who push their bodies. I'm not asking you to do that, but you can give yourself an hour. You can give yourself 30 minutes a couple times a week for your future. So remember that when you're watching your favorite athletes. That's the fitness tip for today.
Fit, good tip, brother. I got to laugh a little bit about your football comment, because what is like? So what? Matt drove 13 hours down to Kansas, Marty, to watch 8 minutes of actual football.
Well, not 8 minutes. I wouldn't say that, but
well, they stand around.
Yeah, man. That's
run a play, stand around. Matt's like, I've been to Winnipeg. I've driven 26 hours to see them standing around for 38 minutes. That's how it works, right? Adam Hase is joining us here this morning. Marty, we left Adam in the green room for the last couple of weeks while we were percolating this segment again, but we got Adam back. Glad to have him here. Adam's looking jacked here today. Nice brown jacket. How are you doing, my friend? How are you today?
Fired up, man. I didn't know if I got cut or what. You know, maybe next week. No. Next week. No, next week.
Keith, you kept pushing him back?
Yeah. We had to get organized. We had to get organized because we had a big discussion today, boys, about leadership. Oh, yeah. And we know Adam's got a wonderful company called House of Bricks, one of the greatest entrepreneurial platforms on the internet. He's got a simple Listen, boys, if you're an entrepreneur and you're struggling to get your business going, you got to go talk to Adam. You need the simple operating system. It's as simple. I've seen it. It is fucking simple, guys. And I know Adam knows. Johnny, Marty, you guys all know entrepreneurship's hard. Adam's put together a platform. It's like connect the dots, man, and grow your business. But let's talk leadership. Jeff Bezos, legendary advice. He's built an entire empire. Let's talk about some of the things that Bezos does. Let's get into it. Two-way doors, taking more risks. Bezos has the concept, John, Marty, of two-way doors. The idea most decisions aren't permanent, they're reversible. That means you can test, adjust, and move on without major damage. And for us, this is about giving yourself permission to experiment. He also has a 70% rule. Don't wait for perfect. We talk about it here all the time, progress over perfection. And then the disagree and commit. Own your moves. Disagree and commit instead of agreeing to disagree. Adam, I'm sorry. And then the last thing is lead by listening. Bezos' rule, speak last. Let others share their thoughts first. This builds trust and gets better ideas on the table. He's got good principles, but they're not gospel. Let's get after it, Adam. What's your opinion on Jeff Bezos' leadership lessons? And I know you like to study Jeff. He's got a lot of things people listen to what Bezos has to say. But Adam, when you think about Jeff Bezos, what do you take from his leadership lessons, Adam?
Well, you were talking about our simple operating system, right? Yeah. And simple is an acronym for strategy, innovation, mindset, pattern recognition, leverage, and execution. And the I stands for innovation, test, fail, learn, grow. That is our model. So don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. And what you think is perfect isn't perfect anyway. It never is. So start before you're ready, create action, and then continue to make better decisions down the road.
Adam, why do you think we strive for perfect, though? Especially athletes or high-performing men. We have to tell ourselves that progress over perfection. It's like we have to tell ourselves that, Adam. Why do you think that's the case?
You want to know the real answer?
Oh, please, yeah.
People are afraid, and they use perfection as an excuse. So
that's exactly what I was going to say. The people that are out there kicking ass are not they're not tethered by fucking perfection. They realize it's an illusion.
Yeah, 100%. So perfection they use as an excuse to not take action.
Yeah.
Like Adam's dropping the sound bites here this morning, Jimmy. Jimmy,
Listen, he ain't been out shooting bricks. I'll tell you that.
Dude, you got me 3 weeks in here, man. I'm fired. I haven't left the office. I've just been sitting here for 3 weeks. So
you
got me hostage. Look at that light back there.
We need to lock him up for 2-3 weeks at a time so we can just come in and drop fucking nuggets.
Let's go.
Well,
you know?
well, you check it. I mean, look at the highly successful. Forget what we're talking about. Athletes, business. You're not going to find these people tweaking out over perfection. It's only the people that are fucking still sitting at the starting line worried about perfection.
I mean, look at Keith. He doesn't even start my segment on time. He doesn't give a shit. Every week we're late.
Adam, what have you learned about leadership from guys? Adam hasn't gone through 1 exit, 2 exits, 3 exits. The guy's done 7 exits.
3 exits. 7 startups, 3 exits.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. What have you learned about leadership, especially when you went from 1 through 3, right? Like what have you learned during those 7 startups, Adam?
You got time for a story?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's break it out. So I've adjusted my leadership style from top down, which is telling everybody what to do, to bottom up, right? So like Jeff Bezos said, let them listen first, right? If your team member that you're leading comes up with an idea that you already had, they're going to feel like it was their idea and run with it because they have ownership. So I'll tell you a story. I was 22 at the time, CEO of Direct Marketing Associates. We were doing a couple million in revenue. It was a company I founded. So young guy leading a team, and we were making bank. So I had some young sales guys that were consistently late to sales meetings. Wow. And so finally I said, and this is like in the boiler room time and Glengarry Glen Ross. So it was all about, you know, cracking the whip, right? So I said, hey guys, if you want to act like children, I'm going to treat you like children. Go outside and sit and face the wall. So I made 2 of these grown men. I was 22. They were older than me. Go sit in the hall and face the wall. But I had the golden handcuffs. They were making bank. So that was my original Adam House. And now I've shifted to the bottom up. I mean, the top down will get you a lot, but you will burn your team out over time. So if it's bottom up buy-in, it's more sustainable. And hopefully those guys are not still watching this show. But I know they've had successful careers since. They've learned their lessons.
So what would you say is the biggest change in your 25 years of leadership, Adam? So young Adam to a little bit older Adam, because you're not old, so a little bit older. What's been the biggest change? Has it been that mindset from, like, has that been the biggest mindset change for you, Adam?
I think so. I'm still very impatient, but that makes me a great entrepreneur. I'm still working on that. But I think getting team buy-in, and I was an athlete, so I always worked well within teams. But as a leader, I think the world's just different now. Everybody is so soft. You know, feelings aren't facts. You know, stop being a baby and get to work. So that's why I love the show. You guys talk about the hustle, the grind, and you're consistent, man. You've started this thing and been consistent and continue to grow.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. You know, Adam, one of the things that Jeff Bezos talks about, and I've been using this principle myself, especially as I'm kind of growing my own self as a leader, is this idea, boys, of disagreeing and committing instead of agreeing to disagree, especially amongst leaders. And Adam, I would think let's use you and I, or me and Bill, or me and Marty, right? In the old days, we might say to ourselves, I'm going to agree to disagree, but what I'm actually doing is I'm giving you the finger behind your back.
100%.
That doesn't give a good message to our teams, right? And I think it's something we got to talk more about is working with our colleagues. So Adam, you and I are working together. I may disagree with you, but what our team wants to hear is that I agree with you and I commit to what you're saying. And that, I think, is an important message that's often lost, Adam, amongst leadership, because not everybody's going to agree, but you have to get behind the leader and commit to the leader to show the team that I'm committed to Adam House as the leader. Even though I might not agree with him, I'm committed to your leadership. And I think it's often lost, boys.
Well, I think that's another cop-out. You don't want to do the work to get to the right answer. And you're basically saying F you. It's one of those like passive aggressive moves, like agree to disagree. Like who really says that, you know? So do the work, find the right answer, and, work together.
The only time you use that phrase is with your wife.
I talked about that. Watch out for the frying pan.
I'm telling you, that's when shit gets really fucking nasty, that's where Tara and I will end up. Listen, we agree that we disagree. Let's just walk away from this peacefully so that we're both standing tomorrow morning.
I thought you were talking about feelings are facts. I've said that before. Ooh. Does not go well.
Oh man.
Marty.
I know that didn't work.
No, that didn't. No.
That don't work with my clients, so I know that didn't work with your wife.
So then since we're speaking of wives, we're speaking leadership, we're speaking some of the Bezos principles, let's wrap the segment up with this. Lead by listening. I know I have learned, especially from starting the podcast and starting the show, the power of listening more so than speaking. And man, there's a lot of power by speaking last, isn't there, Adam?
What'd you say?
I'm telling you, the guy's bringing them all today.
I got to be on once a month because I am fired the frick up to be here right now, boys. So
I love it.
I do want to leave you with one thing because I know you're kicking me off. What I love about Jeff Bezos also is his day one philosophy. So it is every day is day one at Amazon. Day two is slow and leads to death. So as soon as you get outside of that day one mindset, and it's how he's been able to innovate and create and dominate over the last 25 years, 30 years. So keep that day one mentality. That was the name of my team at Rocket Mortgage. I was leading 200 people through COVID, and we had that day one mentality. We had a push-up contest going in one of those apps. Guys were like jumping up Zoom calls, doing push-ups. I'm like, I was like, what are you doing over there, bud? You know, so, but
I'm a fan of Bezos. I did not know that, Adam. Is that right? He has a day one mentality. I did not know that about the fellow. Is that right?
Yeah, it's in their thesis as a company. So look it up. They talk about it every day. It's in their, it's in their mission. Day one. Every day is day one at Amazon, and that's how we should live life.
Yeah, that's that. I like that's very powerful because it's a good reminder when you get up that it's just day one all over again, right? And you know, Johnny, in many ways, it's like our loop concept, isn't it, Johnny and Marty? It's just a loop. It's the same thing, right? It's boring, but if you do the same thing every single day, you're going to have success. And if you don't get past day one, you're not going to have time to become slack and lame by day two or day three, right?
Well, I think what people miss, that people say boring. It's because they haven't committed to the process. It's when you're doing something and winning, it's never fucking boring.
No,
that's the problem.
Yeah,
it's like people, it's boring. Well, it's because you're fucking playing you're playing not to lose. That's the problem. Get up and play to win. You're gonna fucking enjoy every fucking step of your day.
There you go. All right, you're hanging out with Marty, John, Keith, and Adam House, our friend Adam from the House of Bricks community. Listen, if you're looking for an operating system entrepreneurs, if you need help entrepreneurs, you need to get over the hump entrepreneurs, need to stay on day one. You got to talk to Adam. You got to get into that community, guys. You got to get into that community. It's one of the greatest ones on there. You can find Adam at thehouseofbricks.com, right, Adam?
.io, houseofbricks.io. Find me on LinkedIn. And Keith, so I can be prepared. Am I going to get invited next week? It's always this.
We're going to have that. So you know what funny? I love this Adam because Adam loves to be over prepared. And I always have Adam text me like the night before, the day before. And he's like, what's on the show tomorrow? And I stand there, I look at the text and I fucking string it wrong. I'm like, I'll tell him in an hour because I just want to fuck with him. So
damn Canadians. Hey, I'll be in Toronto weekend if you want to swing by. So
yeah, I'll just go get in the car with Matt Cundill. We'll make that 13-hour drive with Toronto to see you. All right, our friend Adam House. Hey, listen, boys, we know if we stop teasing, we stop loving, and that's how boys show their love is by teasing all of us. And Mr. House, get out of here, brother. I love you, man. You enjoy your day. Okay.
I don't know about that last thing you just said. Boys love and tease each other. So I'm out for sure.
Thank you, Adam.
See you, fellas.
All right, we got Jon Andersen coming up with a lifestyle tip. We got AJ Zeglen waiting in the corner in the green room. We're going to talk about some stuff with relationships with AJ Zeglen. Johnny, you're up, brother.
Well, we all live busy lives that can take us in different directions, and sometimes they have its ups and downs. And the thing you got to remember is this. Not every day is going to work out perfectly. Not every day you're going to feel your best. Not every day is going to be one of those days that just kind of falls into place for you. But what you got to remind yourself is this. It doesn't have to be. The key is keep moving. And when you keep moving, you'll be pretty happy with how far you get down the path of your success. So just remember, it's never, ever going to go the way you want it to. Rarely. Number one, keep moving. And number two, remind yourself, doesn't have to be your best day. Just has to be another day you show up. Rock and roll.
Show up. We got our boy Jon Andersen showing up here today, and you heard Matt. He's like, I really admire the consistency. Adam's like, I admire the consistency, and you know, Jon is operating on a 7 today, but he's still showing up every single day because that's what we do as business athletes. We get after it. What's going on, Mr. Zeglen? Good to have you here, brother.
Yeah, what's going on with you guys?
How are you today?
What up, AJ?
I'm doing good. I'm just happy to be here, you know?
Yeah, I know you are.
Baby.
I know you are. Good morning, Jeremy. We get to the comments here, guys. Good morning, Jeremy Cunningham. Good to have you here in the comments. I see you there, Mike Smart.
What's up, Jeremy?
I see you there, Adam Holroyd. Good to have you here as well. And good morning, my baby Lauren's in the comments as well. Good to have you here as well. AJ, we're here talking about, the surprising realities of men's happiness in marriage. We're going to get into that at the top of the second hour. I thought I'd get Marty out of the lab before we talk in marriage. He's like, I don't want to fucking talk marriage shit. So we're going to talk.
Just a fly on the wall.
We're going to talk relationships right now, though, boys, because I know Marty still's into relationships and so forth. But AJ, let's talk about, let's get into this idea of phrasing and communication. And I found an article from a psychologist that talked about 3 powerful phrases that can bring you closer to your partner. And we know that communication is the backbone of everything. And AJ, you know, speaking like a king, 3 game-changing phrases every man should use to build stronger relationships. And I want to have you chime in on this one, that words matter. The way we talk to our partners can either strengthen that bond or quietly break it down. You know, I was talking with the boys last week, AJ, that in many ways, you know, if we really become intimate and close to our partner, you think about it, sex, you know, the metaphor of sex really should never end, right? We're intimate in the bedroom, but maybe throughout the day, we can use words, we can use touch, and we can keep that experience going forever through the power of words. AJ, Let's talk about the power of words and the way that we talk to our partner. Let's start with the first one. How about this idea of, I appreciate how you, like, here's the deal. Gratitude is powerful, but it's not enough to just say thank you. When you hear that idea, when you hear that statement, AJ, of I appreciate how you, what does that mean to you? And how do you think that makes our partner feel when we use those words?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes our partner feel extremely valued and respected, right? I think typically the longer we're together with someone, the more comfortable we sometimes feel pointing out where we're falling short with one another. And often a lot of our focus goes towards the negative.
Yes.
So it's, so it's great. It feels great. I know I can just speak for myself on this one, but I would be willing to guess that a lot of men are the same. And what we're really wanting to get out of a relationship is that we feel respected and that we feel valued and that we know that we're contributing something meaningful. We have a purpose within that relationship, within that family unit. And so when it's recognized that, hey, you're doing this, or I appreciate when you do this, I think it just encourages you to keep going. You got to keep going anyway, and you got to get that stuff done either way. But it is nice, I think, when you get a little bit of encouragement behind it.
Yes. Yeah. You know, one of the things that we talked about with Flynn a long time ago, AJ, is another statement that perhaps, you know, is a tool that we all could use a little more, which is, what can I do to help you right now? And, you know, Jon, I saw a video that you posted on the gram and I think, AJ, a lot of us men are fixers, right? We want to fix.
Yeah.
Right. And Jon, I saw your video, right? And Terry's like, no, I don't want to be fixed, man. I just want you to hear me. And Marty, I need you to be listening, brother, because we're talking about all this so we can set you up, because you got your men's party right next to you, because we're all going to marry you one day, Marty, all the boys here on the show. But that statement, AJ, of what can I do to help you right now is a powerful statement for our partner. Jon, I want you to lean into this after AJ, because I saw your comment with Terry yesterday, Johnny, on that. But AJ, what can I do to help you right now? Stop fixing things, right, brother?
Yeah, because I think our natural want to be able to fix things as men, part of that comes from us feeling uncomfortable in that moment. So now we're making it about us, right? So maybe my wife's going through something, she's struggling with something. I'm feeling uncomfortable in that moment with those emotions, with those, and I'm like, what's the fastest way to get out of this moment? Let's fix it, right? So now I've turned around and I've made it about me when it's not about me. It's about her and how I'm supporting her. So how do I do that? Well, like you said, you could ask, like, you know, how can I help in this moment? Like, what can I do for you? And if it's just to sit there and listen and not fix anything, then that's what I'm doing. Because again, it's not about me, it's about her. So I'm doing that for her, right? And I got to get comfortable sitting in that stuff myself and not just be like, oh, this is so uncomfortable for me. How do I fix it so I can get out of it?
Yeah, I would agree. And everything they just said, but in terms of like my own personal experience, what I recognized in this whole journey of trying to understand how to be better in this was that almost always I'm in a productive mode. That's just me. I like to be productive, right? So when she comes to me, I'm in this mode, this go, kill, fix mode, right? And so it's very easy for me just to kind of apply that to her. Well, once I realized that I can fix it, right? Fix it by listening. I was like, whoa, there's another tool for me to play with here. So then the challenge came to, okay, I got to identify what she needs. Because sometimes she comes to me and she says, you know, I need your help, point blank. That's a pretty easy one. Other times she comes and starts talking and I think she needs my help. So what we did in the beginning was I said, hey, when you're approaching me, just give me a little wink and a nod. Do you need me to listen or do you need me to fix it? So she would kind of give me some guidance. And then I started to pick out, you know, her mannerisms and how she would start to talk. Then I could kind of call it. I could actually tell her what she wanted most times as she was coming up. She's coming up like, I'm listening, correct? Yes. You know? And so, but I think the most powerful thing for me to get out of that fix it mode was to recognize that I can fix it by listening.
You know, a powerful statement that comes next to that. And AJ, I like that I never thought about it the way that you put it originally, but you're so right. When somebody comes to us, our ego gets in the way right away because we become uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to fix it. So it's like, I don't want to talk about it. I got to fix it. Right. And it's like slowing down, because I think what's his next statement happens next, right, AJ, which is this whole idea of tell me more about that. So first of all, it's leaning into listen, and then your partner or your colleague. So John, in your situation, Terry says something. And then I think maybe a tool that you might want to consider next is, so tell me more about that. Right. Because at that point, right, AJ, you're now fully committed to that conversation, right, Zeg?
Yeah, you're fully committed to it. So you're actively listening, you're engaged, which obviously makes the other person feel like they're being respected. Also too, you're helping them in that capacity by asking that open-ended question and giving them the ability to talk about it. We've talked about this before. When, you know, let's say my wife comes to me with an issue and she's just been thinking about it and it's all internal. That's just sitting in the amygdala, right? With your fear and all those primitive, like negative emotions, the fear, the worry, the anxiousness, and it can't go anywhere from there. And it just becomes overwhelming. So by me prompting with some open-ended questions and encouraging her to speak about it, it's moving all those negative thoughts, emotions, feelings to, you know, a different part of the brain, where now she's beginning to work through it herself, right? Just by simply giving her the ability to talk about it, giving the platform to do that, encouraging it. Now, you know, her brain is naturally shifting also into problem solving mode where, hey, this is overwhelming, but there's a solution here. There's a way through it. So, you know, oftentimes too, by doing that, not only do we not need to fix anything, but sometimes if we try to fix everything too, we're taking away that opportunity for the person to empower themselves, that they're able to get through hard things too. Right. So by just listening, asking questions, encouraging that, you're also empowering them to be like, yeah, now that I'm talking about this, I can see my way through this. I'm beginning to kind of see the light, like there's a solution for this, and they're developing those skills for themselves as well at the same time. Right. And that's what you want to do for you and your partner. You know, I don't want my partner to have to rely on me for everything that she needs, right? It's great to feel needed, but at the same time, I also have a responsibility to help support her in her own growth.
That's good. When I'm basically in listening mode, I have a little mantra: questions, not statements.
Well, Johnny, and I'm really glad you said that, because research, boys, we know that research says curiosity builds closeness. Like, let's face it, right? Everyone wants to feel like they matter, right? So if I'm, if there's anything, I was talking to somebody about even this show, the best way to sell somebody something, hey, you want to be on my show? Because the moment I say this, I want to be on my show, now I'm curious about AJ. I want to ask. So yeah, of course I want to be in your show. My point is, the curiosity builds that closeness. When you're curious about the human over there, you're inviting them to be close to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that.
Right. So here's some final thoughts, AJ. Here's the takeaway. These phrases we talked about, boys, aren't tricks. No. I really enjoyed this conversation because they're tools. They're tools to help you build a deeper, stronger connection with your partner, or maybe AJ, your colleagues, right? Start using them today, and you're going to see the difference for yourself. And I got to tell you, we all know, I probably could talk about it all the time. I use this show as my benchmark for my relationship with my wife, and I love the power of communicating, and I love the power of being curious. And I work at these things every single day. I'm not good at these all the time, right? I sometimes just want to fix, right, Johnny? I got to fix. And then I got to catch myself, AJ. No, I got to be curious. I got to listen. And I got to take the energy from my wife and understand what I can then do for her to help her through the situation. It's hard, but when you get it, it's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And don't ever stop.
No.
The issue sometimes that we have is it's easy to be genuinely curious when we just meet someone and we're getting to know them, right?
Yes.
It's easy to actively listen and hang off every word that they say because they're this new person in our life. It's so exciting, and it's, we feel like everything that they say is just this new moment of information that we're receiving, and we're learning about them, and it's all great, right? The key is to keep that going, right? It's easy to do that when it's new and exciting. It's harder. It takes a higher amount of effort and awareness to keep doing that the deeper you go into the relationship. But don't let those things go, right? Because that is, as we were talking about the other day, those little things, like, that's what the relationship is, right?
Yes. That's why I love the power of curiosity. I really believe, AJ, when your curiosity is done, you might as well go dig yourself a hole in the ground. Because when there's no curiosity, there's no closeness. When there's no curiosity, there's no purpose. When there's no curiosity, you're actually done. I love my dad. My dad's 81. He's still a curious motherfucker. Right. Asking questions, digging into the internet, figuring out how to use the iPad. Curiosity is, I think, one of the most powerful words, powerful tools we can have as human beings.
Yeah, you can't get better without it. It's the catalyst that kind of drives us to keep learning.
Yes. And I'll tell you guys this, boys, I'm going into year 8 with my wife here, and you hear those 7-year blues, right? I have made it a mission to be curious. And I have found the last couple of weeks with my wife, I feel like I'm back dating her again. I'm like, I feel like I can't get enough of her. I'm putting the effort in. I'm like, I feel like I get these butterflies in my stomach when she comes home, and I get this giddiness but that doesn't happen by accident, AJ. It happens on purpose because I'm being intentional about it, because I love her 100%. And I want to have that, right? Because it's so easy for it to go away.
Yeah. Oh, it's so easy. Yeah.
Right. So anyways, great conversation, man. AJ, what a great chat here today, man, about these ideas of 3 powerful phrases. And again, they may seem so cliche and so simple, but that's the point, because we get into life and we forget about this bullshit.
Yeah.
But the bullshit is what counts. And it's the curiosity that matters, isn't it?
We want it to be simple.
Yes.
Right? We want it to be simple. We don't want it to be complicated. Yeah. Just do the simple things really well, just like anything else, That's it. Yeah. All right, guys, we got AJ Zeglen joining us here every single Tuesday and Thursday with Mind Fuel. I love these segments, man. We come out of these, Marty, Johnny, between AJ and Jory, it's like every single day between like 8:45 and 9 o'clock, I leave with this, I'm full of just nuggets of knowledge to get on with the rest of my day. I really, really grateful that you guys are contributing such great conversation, AJ. Really are, man. Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
really. And it's Deep Cheek Day today, Tuesday.
Let's go, baby.
Ready to go build some. Oh, that was yesterday for you?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
I'm fired up. I was scrolling Instagram this morning, and just the way the algorithm works, I got 2 Jon Andersen posts pretty close to each other, and one was like a throwback to the wrestling ring.
Yes, I saw that one too.
Instantly got me fired up. And then I kept scrolling. About 30 seconds later, it was a post that looked like he had about 50 burgers he was about to make.
Yes, I saw. And then I saw with the eating the egg in the shell was the third one I saw this morning.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet, but just the wrestling and the burgers, I'm like, I'm ready for deep cheek day, man. I'm fired up. I got all the motivation I need, man.
That's it. Let's go.
Awesome. All right, AJ, I really appreciate you, man. Full of gratitude for every time you show up on the show. You have yourself an awesome day. It's warm in Winnipeg today, brother. It's only -1 today, so
I know.
it's fucking
beautiful.
summertime. It's tarps off weather in Winnipeg today, John and Marty.
I don't really know what that phrase is, but I'll take it. I'll take it for what it is.
Tarps off, t-shirts off. Just go naked, man. Just go naked. So, all right, AJ, we'll walk you out of here, man. You have yourself a great day, okay, brother?
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Good to
you,
see you
AJ.
guys. Thank you.
All right. We're heading into hour 2 here. I know, John, Marty, you got to rock and roll, brother.
Got to rock and roll, man.
Marty's
I got to move too today, bro. I'm moving so slow with feeling the way I feel. If I don't give myself a little buffer, I'm gonna miss all my timelines moving into the day.
All right, so we're gonna reset hour 2. I'm gonna keep the show going here with Jimmy. Marty's gonna go hang out with all the old white dudes at the gym. Hey, Marty.
A whole bunch of them. A couple old black dudes too. Yeah, a whole bunch of old white dudes.
Marty's off to the gym. Gonna go hang out with a bunch of old white dudes. He's back here in 24 hours in the loop. And Johnny, you get better, okay? Get your nap into, okay, brother?
That's it. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning in the loop.
Yes. All right, John.
Feel better, Johnny.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all.
Johnny's out of here. Uncle Keith's going to keep the show rolling with producer Jimmy. We're going to keep it going, brother. We're going to keep the show rocking and rolling forward here. We got a few of the topics we want to get in here to today that we had on the agenda, and I want to keep it rolling here. So listen, you are in Mornings and Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show, boys, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of bed. Yep. We have conversations for men that nobody has anywhere else. What do we talk about? You guys know what we talk about. The conversations we're having in the locker room. The conversations were happening in the gym. The conversations we're having with our brothers. The conversations that the wives are curious about. Those are the conversations we're having here on the show. Hour 1, we started the show off. Ass gas might make you live longer. Yeah, go back to top of the hour here, guys. Just drop them. Just lift up the left cheek and let the gas slip out. Might help you live a little longer. We had that topic. We also had Matt Cundill joining us here as well. Matt's a goat, man. I'm a huge fan of Matt. Matt is a big reason. Matt, if you're still tuning in, Matt is a big reason this show exists. True, Jimmy. True motherfucking story. Yep, absolutely true story. I had Matt on Live in the Lab last year, and I said, hey, Matt, does the morning show work in 2025 on YouTube? And he's like, of course it does. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go after it. So Matt's been a big reason behind this. I'm a huge fan of the work that Matt does and what he's built his career in the radio industry. And we also talked with Adam Hase about Jeff Bezos and the 4 leadership lessons from Bezos that will make you a better boss starting today. And then, of course, with AJ, we talked about relationships and being curious and perhaps stopping always fixing things, men, and being more curious with our partners. Curious creates closeness. So I'd invite you guys to be thinking about curiosity instead of trying to fix things. All right, Jim, let's keep it rolling, man. I want to get into a conversation right now, which is 7 signs a man has a healthy masculinity. It's going to make a great husband. I'm just going to pull this up here, Jim. I think if we have the gamma up here, we should pull that up here. I am going to get this set up for us here right now, guys. And let's see that there here. All right. So, guys, masculinity or emasculation. We're going to talk about 7 signs a man has healthy masculinity. Rick Clutt, what's going on, man? Adam House rocks. Yes, absolutely. Adam's a big friend of the show here. I really enjoy the community he's building there in the House of Bricks. All right, guys, let's get I don't have my script here in front of. Okay, listen. Signs a man has healthy masculinity will make a great husband. Masculine energy in relationships probably looks different than you'd expect. It's the part that is goal-directed, assertive, and action-oriented. Focused more on doing than on being. Here's the thing, boys. Most people use their masculine energy when working and accomplishing goals. It's not about how physically strong or stoic someone is. It's more about how they carry themselves. But what does healthy masculine energy in relationships look like? Well, you see, healthy masculinity is about respect. It's about integrity. It's about the trunk anchoring the trees into the ground, allowing the leaves to dance into the wind. And listen, masculinity is often misunderstood. It's vilified because of unhealthy or toxic expressions of masculine energy, focused on power and control. Here's 7 signs of a healthy masculinity that show that you're going to be a great man for your wife. You're comfortable with your vulnerability. Boys, it takes real strength and confidence to show someone your true feelings. I cannot encourage you enough as you go through your day. Be healthy about your masculinity. Embrace that authentic expression. Yes, feelings aren't facts, but feelings matter. They absolutely matter. I'm a huge fan of feelings. Yes, I believe I'm a masculine man, but I don't like to suppress my feelings. I spent enough time in my life, boys, suppressing my feelings. You know what it did to me? It fucked me up. So if you're a man who's suppressing feelings, I'd invite you to reconsider that suppression. Get comfortable with them. Get comfortable with your vulnerability. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody like AJ, talk to somebody like myself, and get there. I'm telling you, man, when you're comfortable with your vulnerability, you're comfortable with your masculinity. Gentlemen, be grounded. A man who's comfortable in your own skin and knows that you are grounded in your own skin is going to inspire others. Right? Think about the masculinity in the tree trunk, right? And the femininity in the smaller branches, the leaves, the flowers, that strong trunk supporting the branches and leaves. But listen, boys, that grounded masculine energy is going to give you the space to express that femininity fully. Again, back to feelings, right? A tree doesn't stand independently of the branches. No, it's all together. But you got to find a way to get there. You got to find a way to embrace the branches. You got to find a way to make the branches part of the tree. They're not separate. So yes, feelings aren't facts, but feelings can lead to facts. This is best expressed by watching 2 ballroom dancers. Think about it. The male in the dance supports the female. He leads and holds the female as she beautifully twirls and twirls around him. But listen, this dance of masculine and feminine energy in relationships allows for the strength of both partners. True story. To be expressed for them to be in harmony with one another. A ballroom dance isn't one or the other, it's both, right? Listen, the other way about being a masculine man, boys, is providing for your partner and making your partner happy, right? A man who's comfortable in his masculinity knows that his happiness comes from making the partner happy. We want to provide the things that our partner needs to thrive, but our partner wants our curiosity, gentlemen. Don't forget the curiosity. The curiosity brings the closeness. Listen, according to research from Psychology Today, a man's sense of identity is closely tied to his ability to support his family. True story. Now, listen, it doesn't necessarily mean being the breadwinner or being the sole financial support. Us men can provide this ability to care for things, but what we want to do is provide the emotional support and encouragement for our partners to pursue what is important to them. Listen, next one upcoming, boys, is embodying integrity. A man with healthy masculinity embodies integrity, right? Do the words match the actions? Do you say one thing and do something else? Do you take responsibility when you fuck up? Can you apologize when you made a mistake? Those are the things that we can't forget to do, boys. Those are the things that are as important along the way. Listen, you lead, but it's not always rigid. When men take charge in relationships, it's about knowing what we want and willing to take the action to get it. But it's not about being rigid with that, right? It's not about meaning that it's my way or the highway. No, it's about collaborating with our teammates, about collaborating with our partners, giving the response and changing course when giving feedback. Now, here's the thing, boys. Toxic masculinity, I got no time for that. No time for that bullshit. Because toxic masculinity, guys, sees things only one way. My way, his way, the man's way. Really? Healthy masculinity can adjust and change course when necessary. So, boys, I invite you to walk the toxic masculinity out of your world, or walk the toxic masculine men out of your world. I don't know what kind of value it's bringing forth to you. Number 6, boys, asking for and accepting help. A man with a healthy masculinity is really comfortable asking for help, expressing healthy masculine energy. All these things are what goes a long way in creating and being a very, very strong masculine man. And the last one, boys, we're not obsessed with being right. Nope, not obsessed with being right. The need to be right is an unhealthy, yeah, you heard me, an unhealthy masculine trait. So don't need to be obsessed. But the desire to get it right is a healthy example of masculine energy. Healthy, right? So there's a key change there. Don't be obsessed. Perhaps you might want to be invited to have a desire to get it right. There's a strong difference there. So there you go, guys. Our seven signs a man that has a healthy masculinity. Talked about here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Let's quickly do a recap of them, Jimmy. Number one, which is being comfortable, being vulnerable. Number two, boys, we want to be grounded. Number three, boys, we want to make sure we're providing for, making happy, and being curious. Don't stop the curiosity, guys. Number four, embodying that integrity. Number five, you lead, but you're not rigid. You like to lead, but you have an open mind, right? We know that toxic masculinity sees things one way, my way or the highway. I don't know how that works in 2025. You're comfortable asking for help, even with the map, boys. Open up the map and ask for help. I don't know where I'm going. I need some help. It's okay to ask for help. And then number seven, Jimmy, not obsessed with being right. So there you go. There's our 7 signs there is our 7 signs a man has a healthy masculinity and make a great husband. And I know, men, that's what we want to be. And I know it's Marty's after. Good time. Good to see you there, brother. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Keeping up the good work. We're doing the best that we can. You know, as Matt Cundill said, what he admires is the fact that we show up consistently. We're here all the time. Not easy to do, but really important attribute here that we bring to the lab. Okay, Jimmy, let's keep it rolling, man. Let's get to, I think today we are going to get to our next topic here, which is, I got this one here, Jim. Man, procrastination. Procrastination's a killer. Good time. Are you a procrastinator? I used to procrastinate a lot. I find now that we have this schedule, I don't get time to procrastinate. It's like, no fucking time to procrastinate. No, procrastination is killing people. But listen, I got something for you guys. 4 tricks. Did you go through your day today? 4 tricks to help you boost your motivation, and your procrastination is going to be energized. So let's get into that one here this morning right now too here. So we got something here, Jim. You don't need to take motivation to take action. Listen, I am not a fan of motivation. Motivation is, no, we don't need it. You need discipline. You need consistent habits. Discipline, consistent habits lead to results. Motivation is for those that are, I need motivation. No, you need some good habits. You don't need motivation to take action. You just need the right strategies. And here's what you got to do, boys. Collect key. Start small today. Just start small. Because that big goal you're shooting for, it can feel paralyzing. When I started this show a year ago thinking about how big I wanted to make this thing, you think I started with right up here? No. Well, I did start way up here, but I brought it down to here. And it's finally months down the line of progress. We're getting to a point where it's getting bigger. But we had to start small because those big goals can feel paralyzing. You're like, yeah, I want to lose 100 pounds. 100 pounds, whoa, that's a big number. Start with 1. Yeah, start with 1. Like starting up a mountain and wondering how you're going to climb it. I remember when I climbed Kilimanjaro. I remember when I climbed the Henke Trail. I was like, holy fuck, I got to go up all those stairs? Yeah. Forget the mountain. Just take 1 step. 1 step leads to a 2nd step, leads to a 3rd step, leads to a 4th step. Step. Next thing you know, you're top of the mountain. Listen, you can't hit the gym for an hour. Do 10 push-ups. Listen, here's the thing, boys. There's no reason we can't move for 30 to 45 minutes a day. Nobody said you had to do it all at once, right? 30 divided by 3, 10 spots, right? Just get into it. 3 spots at 10 minutes, you get your 30 minutes done. Do 10 push-ups. You're stuck on a project? Just write 1 sentence, right? If your project's got to be 1,000 sentences, start with 1. Just start, right? That small action triggers momentum. We know, boys, movement creates momentum. Yeah. Curiosity creates closeness. All of that, right? You'd be surprised how quickly things can snowball once you get moving. Get up, boys. Get moving. Don't hit the snooze button. Listen, here's another one. Measure that progress, Jimmy. Measure it. Measure the progress. Don't measure the perfection. Because we got to ask ourselves, how often do we look at a goal and think, I've got to go so far. I got so far to go to hit that goal. That's okay. But that's a trap. You got to flip it around. Flip that mindset around. Look at how far you've already come. Did 5 sales call today? That's 5 more than yesterday. You ran a mile, didn't do it yesterday. You did a mile today. We're so quick to beat ourselves up from what we didn't do yesterday. Get started today. You're quickly going to erase what didn't happen yesterday, right? Progress is what matters, guys. You heard Adam earlier today. It's not about perfection. I know. Some of us type A's are like, oh, I got to be perfect, got to be perfect. No, find the progress. Find the energy within the progress. Focus on your wins because they're going to keep you motivated to push forward. And then here's the last thing, Jimmy. Use your skin. Use your skin in the game. Men hate wasting effort. It's why we'll finish a bad movie or eat the whole steak just because we paid for it. Yeah. Use that to your advantage. Put something on the line. True story. You paid for a gym membership? Use it. I know a lot of you guys have gym memberships sitting in your wallet. Yeah. I know you do. You haven't used it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But you're happy spending the 20, 30, 50 bucks a month. And then you're bitching about your Netflix subscription. And you're bitching about your Hulu subscription. Really? Go to the fucking gym. That's where it might start. Use that first, boys. You made progress on a project? Don't quit now. Once you've invested time or energy, leverage that time, leverage that energy to keep it going. Because it's about finishing what you started. But really, are you ever finished? I'd invite you to think about this. Finishing strong. Although if we're finishing strong, we got to restart again. But here's the thing, boys. There's nothing better than the high of crossing the finish line, of getting on the stage, of getting to the top of the mountain. But here's the reality. When you get to the top of the mountain, it's just the first step to go down to the other side. It's never over. It's embracing the progress. That last rep, that last mile, that big deadline. Right? When you see the end in sight, you get that extra charge to push through, leaning into the feeling. Because the more you finish, the more confident and disciplined you come. True. Those small wins, boys, are going to lead to the big ones. So I'm going to invite you to consider this. Motivation, it's overrated. Action. 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 It is all that matters. That's it. That's it. Talk all you want. Action is all that matters. Start small, track your wins, use your effort, finish strong. Listen, boys, these hacks aren't just tricks. You guys need tools to create good habits. That's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you tools to level up your focus and your consistency. That's what I dropped for you boys here today. So 4 tricks to help you boost your motivation. That's it. 4 tricks to help you get going here today. Quick summary. Start small. I know there's something on your list today, boys. You're thinking, I got to get it done today. Get it done. Just start with one thing, one step. Measure it. Don't focus on the perfection of it. Put your skin in the game. Don't waste your time. Lastly, finish strong, right? Finish strong knowing that you're going to restart again. So there you go. All right, Jimmy, and good time. You're right, man. Something is better than nothing because often we'll say, I'll start tomorrow. I'll get it after tomorrow. No, do it today, right? Even if you can't get 30 minutes in, get 10 minutes in and do 40 minutes tomorrow. But again, there's no reason you can't do 30 minutes of walking today. No reason at all. All right. Let's keep it rolling here, boys. Let's get to the community corner, Jimmy. Let's go to a sip of water here, and we're going to get over to the community corner segment. I want to get to the creator spotlight, Jim. We're going to get that rock and roll here today. Just looking at my topics of the show here today, and it looks like we got through most of them. We talked fat gas. We talked about we talked a little bit about men's happiness. We talked about 7 signs of men's healthy masculinity, and we talked about some tricks for boosting procrastination and staying energized. And of course, we dug into on hour 1. We talked about some of the leadership advice that Bezos is dropping out there. Listen, if you're just tuning in, I'm Keith Bilous. I'm the host of Mornings and Alive with Keith and Friends. My friends, they all left. Yeah, they're all gone. True story. Yeah, they all left after the first hour. They're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be here for second round. All right, true story. So I got Jimmy here. Jimmy, the producer, Jimmy's helping press the buttons. We got Tommy in the community. But right now, Jim, let's get to the creator spotlight. I'm going to get my tab set up here for us. And There we go. Okay, so today we got somebody. Jim, you have the vertical feed and the horizontal, Jimmy. I have somebody who says to yourself, have you ever felt out of place? Like you're standing at the starting line, surrounded by people way ahead of you. Oh yeah, that's us right now at the show. People are like, yeah, I want to start a live show. Oh yeah, we're a year and a half ahead of you. That's where this fellow found himself for today's Creator Spotlight, running alongside ultra marathoners with only a 10K under his belt. Yeah, he's that guy going, wow, ultra marathoner, achieved. I only done 10K. But instead of backing down, this fellow we're going to celebrate today, he kept moving one step at a time, turning that imposter syndrome into momentum. Hey, I know about imposter syndrome. It's taken me a year and a half to fucking get rid of it. Taking me a year and a half to kind of throw it out the window. I do have value. I do know the value that I bring. But this fellow changed his mindset, which shaped his journey. From D1 basketball, no, we're not talking Christopher Martin. Sorry, Marty. From D1 basketball to serving in the U.S. Air Force. From scaling billion-dollar organizations to building his own ventures. Every step, a lesson. Every challenge, a growth opportunity. Today, Mornings in the Lab is going to introduce you to somebody. Not doing it yet, Jimmy. I came across his profile through a mutual connection, Eric McTeague. This fellow is the founder of Lever, and he's creating tools to help businesses scale sustainably. Let's get after it, Jimmy. Today, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is ridiculously excited. Going to get my button set up to welcome his name, his profile to the stage this morning. Today, Jimmy, let's meet Andrew Henke. Andrew D. Henke. Yes, my friend. We came across your profile through a mutual connection, Eric McTeague. Andrew is the founder of Lever. He's creating tools to help businesses scale sustainably. And through a letter 4, he's sharing lessons, gratitude, and inspiration. Yeah. With every project he takes on, he's proving that strategy and heart are the ultimate. I mean, the ultimate power duo. Success isn't about having all the answers. Nope. No. Wrong. It's about starting, learning, and moving forward. Andrew, he's living proof that every step counts along the way. So today, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is more than excited to announce that we're celebrating Andrew D. Henke as our Creator Spotlight. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. This is a segment we do on the show every single day around this time where we take a creator on the LinkedIn platform, the Substack platform, one of the many social platforms on the internet, and we celebrate them. And today we're celebrating you, Andrew D. Henke. All right, Jimmy. Look at that view, eh? Woo, baby. We're wrapping it up. Hey, do you guys? There he goes. Hey, so behind me here, that picture there is Keith and Lauren successfully climbing the Inca Trail there over in Peru. And this picture over here is Keith and Lauren at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. Yeah, true story. So I talk about climbing things. I have climbed things. And I'm pretty proud of those 2 achievements that I achieved along the way in my journey of life. Jimmy, yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. Let's try the wireless mic. We're going to try something out here, guys. We're going to do it here live on the show. And we're going to turn something on here. We're going to turn something on here, Jim. And let's see how it works, pal. Let's see how it works, nation. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to try something out here. And we're going to see if it works. So, Jimmy, let's try this out, brother. I'm going to mute this one here. And we're going to try this out. Boom. All right. Jimmy, can you hear me? Jimmy. Oh, yeah, there we go. Can you hear me good? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Oh, and I sound good, too. All right, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends with the mobile mic. Hey, listen, we like to test shit out here on the show. We're all about progress over perfection. And ideally, let me see if I can do something for you guys here. Let's just try this out here. Boom. And oh, yeah, there we go. Let's try this out here, Jimmy. We're going to give you guys a little tour of the lab here. But before I do that, I need to figure something out here. Let's get this screen a little bigger here. Let's do that there. Let's do this here, Jimmy. And then I'll give you guys a little tour. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so Yes, I'm going to walk around here in the lab here, boys. So as you guys can see, you got Uncle Keith over here, and we are in Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Jimmy, can you see me, brother? I'm going to look in the screen here. Yeah, I got to get, this is kind of fun. Hey, Jim? Let's just see here, man. I got to get this, I don't know why the camera is so, oh, there we go. Let's make this big like that there. Okay, so we're going to go back over here, guys. And I think we're going to get into a little habit here of oh, look at that. We can interview folks on the screen here, and we can make this a whole different setup. Jimmy, is it working? I want to see the Jimmy. I need you to see your answers on the screen here, on the bottom here, Jim. Let's just see, because I can't, because I don't got the comments in front of me. So all I can see is what's happening here on the bottom, and you guys can see here a brand new view of the lab. But Jimmy, I think we got something here, brother. I think we have a spot for a new segment where Uncle Keith's going to go wander around the lab and come talk to the camera over here, and then get it back over here. Tommy, you can see it, eh? Is it looking good there, Tom? Nation, we got Tommy here in the community. Yeah, there you go. This is fucking cool, man. Jimmy, it's working. It's working, man. We're going to have a brand new segment. It's going to be called Keith's Walking Around the Lab segment. Yeah, there you go. The handsome chief. Okay, I guess this works, Jim. Oh, fuck. Good suggestion that we do this. Now I need to, here's what we can do here. I can go have a seat here. I can go have a seat here in the lab and just check this out here. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Wow. That's pretty good. Okay. Well, listen, guys, I know you don't want to see me walking around here and just boring the hell out of you, but we're having some fun. So I'm going to get back to the other side of the lab here, and we're going to change the channel. We're going to change the camera. Jim, was I over on the vertical feed too? Yeah, I was. Look at that, eh? Wow. Yeah, look at that. Cool. Okay, well, listen, let's, I think we're going to end the show. No, I need to do this. Here, we're going to try this. All right. Hey, Meta, shoot a video. There we go. All right. So Meta, we're doing a little rock. We're going to do a walk around the lab here just to show everybody what we're doing here. So there is the behind the scenes. So Uncle Keith sits over there. And right now we got a microphone happening so we can do some mobile stuff. But, Jimmy, I've just saved myself thousands of dollars by not having to go buy some microphones and shit because it all works right here. Pretty good. Okay. Oh, what do we got here? We got Tommy coming in with horizontal. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. All right. Okay. So Nation, we're going to get out of here. Let's put me back on the screen here. There we go. All right. So guys, we're going to rock and roll. This is pretty cool for me. It's taking me some time to sort this out. Now I have my head's going to go crazy because I'm excited about what we can do over there. And I can put a gym cam. I got a gym on the other side of the door there. So we're going to rock and roll. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, do that. And Jimmy, can you hear me again? I just changed mics, so I'll make sure you can hear me again. Yeah? Brilliant. All right. Okay. Well, listen, let's end it. Let's finish the show. Let's put it to bed. Let's go to bed. Good time. We're on the move, man. Yes, we're gonna I'm gonna create some energy over there on that side of the lab. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna add kind of a segment to this thing where maybe I'll do like a segment sitting over there, and I can talk to the screen. And it's gonna be good. Oh, I love it. Give you guys something different to look at. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I got work to do. We got post-production to do. We got a show to set up for tomorrow. That's the thing, guys. I got to tell you guys, when you do a live show, and Matt Cundill dropped it earlier today, is that we go in less than 24 hours from now. So it's not as if we don't have, it's not as if, okay, we'll do some other time. No, it's actually less than 24 hours. So, okay, Jim, let's get out of here. Let's get the show on the road here. I'm going to get the buttons ready. Yeah, there it is there. Listen, there it is. On behalf of me, I'm Keith Bilous. On behalf of producer Jimmy, on behalf of producer Tommy, on behalf of Marty, on behalf of Johnny, on behalf of Matt Cundill, on behalf of Adam Hase, on behalf of everybody who joined the show today, AJ Zeglen, my baby Lauren, we got good time in the comments. We got, who else we got here? We got Adams, we got Mike Smart, we have Adam Holroyd. We have a whole gang here showing up this morning. Rick Klecki, I appreciate all you guys joining us this morning. You know where to find us. We're right here on LinkedIn. We're right here on YouTube. We're right here on X. And we're back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Real talk for real men. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. The only morning show, guys, to help you get your ass out of bed and help achieve those big, hairy, audacious goals. Let's get out of here, boys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys in the morning.